Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
All right, welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou, guys. It is Monday morning. Who's ready for an amazing show today? I am. Love is all you need. Or is it? That's the question of the day to find out. You know, last week we talked about certainty, how it can be a jail or it can be a great foundation for you, right? If you didn't catch last week's show, let's get back on there and make sure we do that right here and now. I'm a little off center on the camera here, guys. Bear with me. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm definitely off center this morning. What is that? Isn't that a penalty in hockey, off center? Yeah, I'm off center, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it because the important thing is to come deliver to you guys today with some love, baby. You love. I got a story for you, and you may have heard this story before, and it's about Bandit the raccoon. I get a phone call. I was coming back, and Jen's like, hey, we got something on the semi you need to see. And I'm like, coming back from Daytona, and I'm like, what do you mean? And I get there, and there's this little baby raccoon huddled up in the trailer, by himself. And obviously, his mama got shooed off of the thing before it got shipped to us. And there's this little guy, shaking, scared, hungry, been locked up in a semi-trailer for days. And I finally get him to come out, and it's so funny because I'm getting him to come out, and all of a sudden he runs out to me because he gets all excited because he realizes I'm not going to hurt him, and I almost fell over backwards on my butt. It's tiny little baby raccoon, right? And there's purpose to this story, guys. So I finally get him out, kind of get him over into a bin because I'm like, well, he can't live here. He's going to die or he's going to get killed, in a parking lot. And I bring the little dude home. Go to open up the thing, and he's like scared in there, but he's kind of like friendly and still recognizes me. Well, this little guy gets attached to me, and he's like under my arm and hanging out, and and I'm like, I don't even know what to do for him, but this is a creature that many people go, oh, a raccoon, they're so scary, they're mean, they're rabid, they're this, that, and the other, and here I'm petting him, and he's hopping up on the chair in my lap, and I'm like, What a concept here. Everybody or everything responds to love, and a hell of a lot better than they respond to hate or disrespect or nastiness. Love is really quite a cure-all in a lot of cases, right? So a little food, a little compassion, and this little guy's life is saved, but not only saved, but changed. But what was really changed was my life, my heart. Instead of looking at him like a rodent that gets in your garbage cans, I'm like, this thing really responded to love, and he was loving, or she. I'm pretty sure Bandit was a he. I don't know, with a name like Bandit, but I really don't know. I don't know how to check a raccoon. So on the funnier note, guys, but seriously, so many people are afraid of a creature like that, or are they afraid of loving in a way that is kind of unconditional, where it's not a horse trade love, just love, right? Okay, so I got some things I want to talk about this morning. Now, you do realize we're capable of, and I might be popping in and out, I got the new mic, which is a good mic. We are capable of loving more than one person at a time. And you're like, uh-oh, polygamist here. No, it's not what I'm saying. Think about this. We are capable of loving more than one person at a time. Can you love your spouse and love your children and love your family and love your friends and your neighbor's wife? I'm just kidding. Don't get caught. No, just kidding. I'm serious. Are you capable of loving more than one person or one thing at one time? Of course we are. And if you don't think that, you got a little something you got to adjust up here. Okay, that's sometimes people get obsessive. Well, oh my God, you can't tell your kid you love them because you're in a relationship with me. Well, that's a problem. Okay, so I think at a base level, unless you got a problem, we can look and go, you can love more than one person at a time. Of course you can. Then there's the love fountain doesn't go away. It keeps pumping. You don't run out of love, okay? And so number two, love has different forms. Thank God. You do not love your children or your grandma the same way you love your spouse. You better not be, or else there's something really wrong. Okay? And anybody that's like that needs whatever. But we'll talk about that on a different show. But you do whole different love for your children than you have for your grandma. A whole different love than you have for your spouse. Whole different love than you have for your next door neighbor. Whole different love than you have for every stranger. You're not a puppy dog that you're walking down the street and you see a stranger and you go and hop on their leg, okay? No, that you can love a stranger. Somebody falls down, gets hurt, needs help. You can, in a loving way, care for people without being in love. You're not in love with every person on the street, but you can love basic humanity, right? So love has so many different forms. Love between you and your creator is a different love than between you and your spouse. Love between your coworkers. You might love your coworkers, but you're not in love with them. Okay, some office affairs maybe, but being sarcastic, but seriously. So, and then number three, what is the best way to feel love? You know what it is? This is going to be cool because you're no longer going to have to go seek it from external sources. Give love. When you give love, you feel love. Okay? This way, your love is not really dependent upon somebody else's response, giving it back, the way they act, if they take it or accept it or don't accept it. If you give love, you feel love. So what's the best way to feel love and to be loved is to give love. And let me tell you, you better be giving love to yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, you can't love anybody else at the maximum that you want to. You might be like, no, I don't really love myself, but I love my kids. No, you still cannot love them at the highest level, your God, your kids, your family, your spouse, until you love yourself first. Take my word for that. Take that one to the bank. And number four, let's look at it. Every religion or spiritual practice is based on love, almost. I mean, there might be a radical, here and there twist of a religion or something, but in the basis, what do all religions teach? Love, compassion, respect, goodness. Okay? So unless you're a devil worshiper, most religions or spiritual practices, and whatever you practice, I say practice it, is based on love. Wow. Number five, love is not a competition or a comparison. It isn't, well, if you do this for me, I'm going to love you. If you do this way, I'm going to love you. If you don't do this, I'm going to love you. That's horse trading. When love's based on a trade, what does it become? Well, I'll give you some love for $50. Does that give you a clue? It's prostitution. And you might go, well, no, it's not really because it's different. Well, yeah, I get it. It's not like going down onto 441 somewhere. But what I'm saying is if it's a trade-off, or I love you if you buy me things, or I love you if you do dishes, or I love you if you do this, but I don't love you if you're not going to be a certain way, that's you may as well be prostituting, okay? Because that's a trade-off. I love you because I'll give you love in long time if you give me $50. I love you if you give me a car. I love you if you treat me just a certain way. I love you if you talk a certain way. You got to understand that is not true love. That is the lowest form of love, okay? So think about that. Now, there's a big difference between this thing called, and this I just added on. I didn't even intend on teaching this. But there's a big thing in life where a lot of people really want and crave love, deserve love. They settle for connection. Well, it's better than nothing. I don't want to be alone. Or, I'm connected to my community, so I feel connection. Connection's a very base, like the lowest of the lowest model. Like if you were going to get a Ford Escort as opposed to a Lincoln Navigator. Connection is the Ford Escort. The Lincoln Navigator is love, okay? For all you car people out there, you know what I'm talking about. Or same thing with, ground chuck compared to filet mignon for your foodies, okay? Whole different world. Okay, the ground chuck will keep you alive, but the filet will nourish your heart, soul, and your body, at that matter. So, just saying, what do you think of that? That's a pretty good distinction to make. No, it's not pretty good. We don't do things pretty good around here. That's an outstanding. Let me hear it. That's an outstanding decision to make. Okay, so I'm going to teach you, how do you feel love? I got 6 steps to this. How do you feel love? The 6 keys to feeling love. Number 1, appreciate and love yourself first. I'm sorry to say this and sound selfish. You can't love anybody else till you love you. And you might be like, well, I'm not very happy with myself right now. But you got to love yourself. Good, bad, indifferent, effed up, uneffed up, have no clue where you're going, don't even know where you've been, or totally focused and got it and get it, and you do practice self-love each day in the form of taking care of your body, and you don't do stupid shit like smoke, drink, and stuff like that. I'm not saying you can never have a beer or something. I'm not Mr. Stiffneck. What I'm saying is, when you abuse your body, that is not self-love. When you don't take care of yourself and look your best and exercise your body and eat the things that nourish you, that ain't love. Okay? You're not loving yourself, and that's just not where you want to be. Okay? So until you love yourself, you can't love anybody else as much, because people tell me, oh, I love him, or I love her so much more than me. Well, you're not really. You're building it on like a quicksand foundation. And it isn't be greedy and all about you, but you got to be somewhat about you before you can be about anybody else. Get it through your head. That is a fact. Okay. Number 2, you got to appreciate others for who and where they are. Okay. We can't judge. Okay. You can't love an image of what you think you can make them into. Okay. Whether that's your spouse, your family, your coworkers, your business partners, your kids, you cannot love the image of what you think you can make them. Okay. They are what they are. Now, can people change? Can people get better? I'm never going to tell you that can't happen, but they got to do it out of self-love and somewhat of a love for you, but they're not going to just change because they love you and become what you want them to be. That is obligation. That's back to that transactional stuff. Okay. Just because you care for someone does not mean they will change, nor does it obligate you to be imprisoned by them or to them just to get their love or connection. Okay. That is not, there's somebody said it well to me once, because I once said, do you think there's just that one soulmate for you in the world? Yeah, it was funny because we were at an event and she goes, no, you know what? I really believe that there are many people that could qualify, that there are certain connections and things that could be meant to be. But, it's not just one person, because if that was the case, one person might be in Thailand and the other in Chicago, and they're never going to meet. And sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And it would be such a cluster F that nobody would be with their soulmate. And I was like, what an interesting thing. But so you don't have to give up who you are, or settle for a life that it's not even remotely what you deserve, just to go, well, I'm loved, I think, or I kind of feel loved, or I'm earning love. Bull crud. Okay? Okay, with that said, when you learn to love and appreciate, you find that love takes many different forms, and it might even change over time. My God, how many times, people grew up together, best friends, and they were always together, and they were kids and stuff, and they never realized. And then, they end up getting married, this, that, and the other to somebody else, divorced, and run into each other later on. And all of a sudden they realize that there was their true love, and they get married and live happily ever after. Or there's people that realize it from high school on out. It's so funny. I see this, on Facebook and stuff once in a while. The people that have been married since right after high school, and they're still happy. Wow. Crazy. I mean, that's amazing. But that doesn't mean that just because you got married out of high school to your high school sweetheart, that if that really wasn't the person, that you tough it out for life, because the next life, you're going to do it differently. There is no next life, folks. Okay? So understanding that the forms of love can change. It's an amazing, very elusive and crazy concept, this thing called love, this crazy little thing called love, right? So the other thing is you got to understand the difference between, this is number 3, love, but you can love many, many, many people all at once. Being in love, which generally shouldn't be many, many people all at once, is generally one person when you're really in love. Now, you can be in love with like your clients and in love with what you do and stuff, but not that in love. You know what I mean? I don't know how to distinguish that, but you can be in love with life, but you find that special person or whatever. That's in love when you're just crazy about someone. And then you have the unconditional love. That's your kids, probably. Maybe your pets. Some people, it's their pets too. But that unconditional, you know what? I love my kid no matter what. Not in love with my kid. You better not be. Okay? And you do love them, but some loves expire and fade. Not the ones for your kids or your pets or your family. That unconditional, no matter what, I love my kid. Okay, that's an amazing love. No matter what, I love my God. No matter what comes at me. Okay, I love my coworkers, but if they move across the country, I still love, that we work together and stuff. But I'm not going to be like brokenhearted, like losing a child. That's one love. I'm in love with my spouse as long as stuff doesn't go sideways. That could change. That could diminish to just being like a love, like a family love over the years. It could stay that massive in love. That's the way it's supposed to be. It can be an unconditional love, but it's a special, different kind of love. This is what's so cool, is that there are differences, but you got to understand those differences. And a lot of jealousies and BS would go away in relationships if people understood that if your spouse is in love with you, they can love family members. They can love friends. It's not the same thing. They can have an unconditional love for the kids, the pets, and everything else. It's not the same thing as the love between two man and woman, Okay? So, yeah, get that. Number 4, create a mantra for yourself or the such that, the only thing you need to feel love is to give love. And you'll never feel unloved again. If you woke up every morning and said, I love life itself. I love my God. I love myself. I love my spouse. I love my kids. Kind of, what do you love? Okay. And just, I'm a lover of humanity. I'm a lover of animals. I'm a lover of people. I'm a lover of motivation. I'm a lover of my listeners. Whatever it is that you say to yourself that brings that love into your heart. Okay. And number 5, fall in love with life itself. The good, the bad, the ugly, because it beats the heck out of a dirt nap. Dirt nap means death. For those of you who don't know the sarcasm term there. Okay. Even on a bad day, it's better to be alive than it is to be dirt napping. Okay. We're here one time. This is not a dress rehearsal. I realize there might be somebody out there that goes, oh, we get reincarnated and we're going to get another 10 lives. Okay, good luck with that one. I respect your belief, but I'm thinking that I'm going to make the best of this one because I'm not really guaranteed that more are coming. If that is great, but you know what? You won't even know it if that were the case. So it'd be cool if you came back and knew it and garnered all that wisdom and knew what to expect. Wow, wouldn't you be miles ahead, right? So even on a bad day, there's a lot to be grateful for. Okay. So heaven's going to be amazing. I believe I'm going to heaven when I go, but I'm not in a hurry to get there. Got a lot to do here first. Okay. 6, anytime you want to feel love, especially every morning, do an emotional flood. Okay. When you want or need to feel love, do an emotional flood. And you're going to go, what's an emotional flood, Coach? Well, if you got a second here and you're not driving, if you're driving, pull over to the side of the road and do this. because you're going to have to close your eyes. And I don't want you closing your eyes while you're driving, and I shouldn't even have to say that, folks, but that is common sense. But, there are a lot of people that don't have that common sense, y'all. Okay, so close your eyes and think of a time you felt loved, the most you ever felt loved, or where you felt loved the most. You remember the birth of your child, if you're a parent, the first time your child said mama or dada, or the unconditional love you may have received from your parents as a kid. And some people didn't receive the proper amount of love when they were kids. That's why we do stuff like this. Flood it through. Keep those eyes closed. Do you remember Grandma's kitchen? Anything she cooked that made you feel loved? Do you remember being comforted? Do you remember your first pet? Your first pet, your favorite pet, your current pet? What about the first time you felt love like that, in love feeling? Ooh, how did that feel? Yeah, put your hands on your chest over your heart. Hold your heart here. Bring it in. What do you feel? How's that feel? No, don't let any negative. Okay, you felt unconditional love and, something happened. No, just go back to the unconditional love. You were in love, but maybe it didn't work out. But man, when you were in love, it was amazing, right? Feel that feeling. Don't feel feelings of loss. Feel feelings of gain. Feel feelings of when you did something from your heart that helped somebody that they didn't even know you did, and you helped somebody. They didn't even know you, and you helped them. And after that, you felt like you were walking on air. You could skip through life because you were just too cool for school at that point. You stepped up and just showed love for no reason. Bring that in your heart. How does that feel? Take a deep breath. Keep that feeling for the whole day. Open up your eyes and know, even if you're in the worst of times, you just felt love. That was a lot of love. Fall in love with love, folks. Let's rock it. Let's do this. A little more love in this world would cure a lot of stuff, too. Let me tell you something. You know what I'm talking about? I know you know what I'm talking about. More love all the way around. Your relationship might be on the rocks, but if you put in a little more love, that would change things. Our world, our economics, our politics are on the train wreck. They're on a speeding train headed for a concrete wall. But if we start loving on one another a little bit more instead of hating on each other, imagine the world we would have. Guess what? You have homework. Remember the old AOL, you got mail? Baby, you got homework. If you want to really feel love, here it is. Okay. Number one, every person you encounter today, think as you approach them before you shake hands, say hello, say goodbye, help somebody out, walk up to the grocery clerk, whatever it is. Just look at that person and think, I love you. Doesn't mean creepy, ooh, I love you. Okay? Just basic humanity. You're a live human being. I love you. And if you think of that, even the ones you think are a-holes, okay, doesn't mean you become a doormat or blind to the fact that not everybody in this world is worthy of your level of love, nor is it, even worth in the quote unquote long run sending out that love. Just do it. Just do it because the purpose of this exercise is for you to understand you can feel love without the external source. Okay. Doesn't matter that you really bond with that every person you see today, but I'll tell you what, you're going to find you bond with more. You're going to find that people are going to treat you different. They don't even know why they're going to treat you different, but when you send that feeling of love out, even to the people you don't like, something shifts, and it's kind of magical beyond what I can even explain, okay? Just try this for today. Maybe how about 10 days and just see how it works. Make a little journal of it and say, how different was this week in 3 days? Basically a week and a half. How different was that? Just approaching everybody with the, I love you, because you're basically just because you're a human being, you're alive, or every creature. I love you. And this isn't be a woo-wah. This is to install feelings of love in you guys. I'm not all woo-woo, kumbaya, everything's fine. Stuff's going to come at you. We're in a tumultuous world. But if you approach it a little differently, you're going to feel differently. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, how you're going to feel. Okay? Number two, that emotional flood we just did, you got to admit, if you really closed your eyes and you really remembered some of those feelings, you got to feel better. I did just walking you through it. Whew. You might even get a little sweaty hot. Just saying. No, seriously, there's some good stuff to that. All right, do this emotional flood first thing in the morning before you get your coffee down or anything else for the next 10 days. Something magical about that 10 days, but we're not going to delve into that now. See how you feel. If it works, and I know it will, and you feel better, and you feel more love, and you feel more loved, and you're calmer, and you're more excited about life, and you're getting more done because you're not miserable. Feel free to continue that forever. If it works, you take a couple minutes, you flood yourself with the positive emotions of love, you feel better, your day's better, even on challenges, you handle them better. And on other days, you treat people better, which makes them treat you better, which makes them go treat somebody else better. How does that not become something you would want to maybe install for, again, the rest of your life? This stuff is so darn easy, guys. What I teach you and what we talk about on the show is not this complex formula and scenarios. It's easy. The key is do it. Learn it, do it, review it. Learn it. Okay, you need to know kind of what to do. You need to do it, and then you need to review and go, how did that make me feel? Wow, that was really pretty cool. I enjoyed this. Wow, I really enjoyed this. Wow, that really made my day better. Wow, I did this, that, and the other. What in the world are you waiting for? I'm posting link in the chats, guys. And I know this is a lot, and it's like, all right, coach, you don't kumbaya this in 5 minutes and everything changes. Well, everything changes once you start doing this. But you might need help. There's a link in there for coaching. I would love to coach you. Love. See, there it is again. Love. Love to coach you if you're ready to make these changes. Okay. You know there's more for you out there, but you're like, I do need some help. Okay. Everybody needs a little bit of help once in a while. What was the old song? Get by with a little help from my friends. Well, it's so darn true. Sometimes you need a little bit of help. And sometimes it's not your friends because they can negative and, poison. If somebody's poisoning you, close that ear. Close it off. Don't listen to toxic BS, guys. Listen to your heart. Listen to the people that share love, compassion. It doesn't mean, again, we all kumbaya. Somebody doesn't come up with a gun and say, give me your wallet. And I'm going to go, oh, my friend, of course I will. No, you better be ready to tango, baby. But once I got you down and you're cuffed up and everything else, if you go, oh, my God, I want to change my life. Well, I have enough compassion to say, well, let me help change your life. When you get out of the joint, there's we're not all going to kumbaya and it's all going to just be okay. You're going to face challenges, but when you face challenges from a place of love and compassion and you get more people to do that, you might totally disagree. You might be on opposite sides of the fence of whatever it is. You're this one, and you're butting heads the minute you go, hey, it's high five. Hold on. What do we got in common? Let me respect and love you as a human being. We don't agree, and it's okay not to agree. But is that really the sum total of everybody? Is you're different here or different here? When you have 99 similarities, you could find one difference. Isn't it better to focus on the similarities and on the basic goodness rather than focus on the one or two things you disagree upon? The world might be a better place. So again, love. Is it all you need? Yeah, it can be. Just got to learn how to harness it like any other tool. I'm also putting in the chat for you guys. You notice I drink coffee, and there's a lot of controversy around coffee. I drink the best of the best. It's Life Boost. Tastes the best, organic, actually good for you, and love it. I am an affiliate there, so please do use my links and enjoy, because this stuff right here is delicious. If you can be in love with coffee, I'm in love with Life Boost. I'm telling you, it's good. And I'm a guy. I like flavor. Okay. I'm not, yes, I like that it's organic and everything else. And I wouldn't drink anything else because I love my body. But it's got to taste good too because I'm a guy. So it is what it is. And guys, what do you think? Did you love the show today? Let me get some love on that. Show it up. Show it up. Let me see what you got because today's important. You notice a couple weeks ago we talked about uncertainty. Last week we talked about certainty. Today we talked about love/connection. I'm going somewhere with this, so make sure you're on the next few shows because it's going to all make sense. All right, guys, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams, and I mean always, even when it's hard, when it's not so easy. This is Coach Lou signing off. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. Have an absolutely amazing week. Please, please, please comment back. Let me know what you got good out of this show. Any suggestions, anything, any new distinctions you're making or anything changes it's making for you, please share with each other and with me. This helps everybody. All right, guys, have an amazing day. I'm really signing off this time. See you soon. See you on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.